So I've been thinking a lot about race and racism lately, obviously, and how to be a better ally. And one of the things that I've come to realize is that one of the best things that we can do is listen to the stories of people of color, because they are the experts on their own experiences. And when we listen to these stories, we become more empathetic and compassionate and understanding. And we learn how to be better allies. And so I want to recommend a book that I read recently, and it's called James by Percival Everett. And it's actually the first book in what's called the Erasure Trilogy. But it can absolutely be read as a standalone. And this book is about, well, it's about everything, really. It's about race and racism and police brutality and the justice system and white supremacy and the legacy of slavery and the absurdity. But it's also a book about family and friendship and love and loss and joy and redemption. It is a sweeping epic, but it's also deeply personal. And what I loved about this book is that it's narrated by an unnamed narrator. But he introduces us to James, who was a black sharecropper living in the Mississippi Delta in the early 1900s. And James has this incredible journey that takes him all over the United States and really forces him to confront the realities of race and racism in this country. And along the way, we meet a bunch of characters, including a white man named William, who becomes obsessed with the idea of deblocking America, literally trying to erase black people from America. And he starts this whole organization, this whole movement. And he goes around killing black people and, doing terrible things. And so what's interesting about this book is that it's not just a story about racism, it's also a story about the psychology of racism, right? We get to see into the mind of a white supremacist, and it's horrifying, but it's also fascinating. And we get to see how this guy rationalizes his hatred and his bigotry and his violence. And it's all really messed up. And so this book is not an easy read. It deals with some very difficult subject matter, but it's an important read. And I think that everyone should read this book because we need to confront these issues. We need to listen to these stories, and we need to be better allies. If you like books, please consider subscribing to my channel. I talk about books all the time. I review books. I make literary content. And if you like what I do, please support me on Patreon. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching.